Oh, good morning. Hi, Wendy.
Good morning. We're back. It's been a hot second.
Yes, Happy New Year to everybody because, we missed January.
January.
Yeah, it's
I
been,
think, yeah, I think this is my first live show of 2026 because Desk Chatter's been recorded. So I haven't done a live podcast episode yet this year.
yeah, it's been craziness, very, very craziness. So, oh, good morning, Hi, Wendy. Okay, that was funny. It's on my, I forgot to pause that so I can go in the chat from there. Okay, and then we got Karen. Good morning,
Good
and
morning. And
of
Peter.
course, and Peter. Yes. Can wait for a few more people to
Yeah.
log on. Uh,
You
if
guys have the cold weather for once. You and I
oh,
have been texting because it's actually cold in Florida for once.
let's put it like this. I talk about living in a hotel, so I live in a private residence of the hotel. And the other morning it was 30 degrees. And for here, when you're on the ocean and that wind chill, and the heat would not come on. But Peter comes out wearing a blanket in the living room. For Peter to wear a blanket, it's got to be cold because he's like, oh, I never get cold. They actually had to rig. It hasn't been this cold in this part of Florida in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So on the cooling tower, they actually had to attach a boiler to the cooling tower so they could get the heat pumps to start kicking in. And
Oh,
so yeah, and we had to have our system like I knew that, and then there was a power surge. So when there's a power surge, you got to go out to the utility closet
mm-hmm.
and we have a dual system, so I have to yank the reset thingies, right? What else would you call them? I have no idea. And did that, and then voila, we got some heat. And then in the middle of the night, the cooling, whatever happened up there, and things were getting, it wasn't working. So it's like they had to. That's when they had the jury rig something. But now they know because it's just, and it's still cold. It's we don't have uh, nothing on in the house right now. We're comfortable. We don't need the heat on right now. We're set it at a certain thing, but at least our utility bill for this month might be a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's cold here, but at least we have, depending on the corner. So what we discovered, I'd been complaining my office was cold. And
Mm-hmm.
depending on the corner of my office, there's a 10 to 15 degree temperature difference depending on the time of day.
Mm,
Because the thermostat is upstairs. And so
okay.
the thermostat is in a room that's sunny in the afternoon. And so mid-afternoon it goes, "Oh, it's warm." And I'm in the basement going, "No, it's not warm. You're wrong. Can you?"
Yeah.
And so my office has actually been cold, but the rest of the house is quite comfortable because like we're sort of used to the cold. The amount of snow though has been a bit oppressive.
Yeah.
Um,
It's craziness. I mean,
yeah.
we have offices in Massachusetts, like 30 miles north of Boston.
Okay.
And the cold, like this Sunday, it's going to be like the coldest. And that's not good because it's commercial industrial real estate. And we already had issues with pipes freezing or like the water, no, the water meter broke.
Mhm.
So the city had to come, shut the water off, get a new, whatever it was,
Yeah.
where they're heat wrapping the pipes. They're just so poor Peter's been on the phone around the clock with our people up there. I mean, there's no need for us to go up there. We can't do anything, but we can order people to do stuff, right? Get this done.
So
Just
there have been counties in southern, to put in perspective, there are counties in southern Ontario that 2 weeks ago announced that after 14 days of their crews working 24 hours a day, they were pulling their road clearing crews off the road until the snow stopped.
Wow.
And I think crews in most counties were off the roads for like 36 hours, which doesn't mean like if somebody calls 911, a snowplow won't go out with the ambulance, but it does mean that a snowplow will go out with the ambulance and only clear the roads an ambulance needs.
Right.
It just means they're no longer clearing every road. And roads, most roads in Canada are ranked. You're ranked 1 through 4. So 1 is going to be your major roads and highways, and those are going to be your first to be cleared. And 4 are your least level of priority. And you pretty much know what type of street you live on. And it, if you live on a tier 4 street in the city of Toronto, it might be a day or 2 before you see a snowplow come up your street.
It's crazy. It's really, I don't know what it is with everywhere. Everywhere is getting hit. I'm reading what Karen just wrote in South Carolina. They had to shut. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, poor dog had to sleep. Well, it's just everywhere is getting hit with something. Everybody's getting something.
And I like every time I go down to my office, like I am running the tap in my basement just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it only takes a day or 2 for a pipe to freeze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what's it like in Colorado?
No snow.
Really? Wow, that's unusual, isn't it?
It feels unusual. We are being pounded by snow. You guys are freezing cold, and Colorado has no snow.
Oh, I know. Go figure. A couple of feet of snow up in my brother was out snow plowing. Well, he was using the plows and making his son do all the other work. So, because he can't. But yeah, they were like talking about 55 degrees. Wow, it's warmer in Colorado than it is here.
Way warmer in Colorado.
Oh, all right. And now that we discussed the weather, let's go on to the fun stuff like
fountain pens.
Fountain pens.
Fountain pens. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been. So Karina had her M8000 crack just before Christmas, I believe.
M800?
No, sorry, M1000.
M1000, okay.
M1000. Sorry, my brain's like.
No, don't worry about it.
I cannot look out a window without just seeing white snow. I am starting to go stir crazy. I was fine for the first couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rob had to do me in. Because Rob and I were talking, and he went, "Are you stir crazy yet?" And I was not, because it was not a possibility in my head that I could be stir crazy and tired of the snow until he presented it as an option. And now it is all I can think about is how much I want to be outside, and I can't shiver. I'm not allowed to be outside.
I was having a mini flare up because it was so cold. Like my ankles were so bad throbbing. Thank God I got my infusion yesterday. And I just looked at the temperature for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's warmer in Colorado than it is here in South Florida.
Oh, let me do some math. My thing's in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So let me do some math. It feels like 11 Fahrenheit here.
Hey, yeah. It feels like it's 48 here. We're going to have a low of 44.
And we're expecting more snow.
Ugh.
And under an extreme cold weather alert.
So much,
which means it's going to get colder. That's fun.
Wendy wants to know what you have made with your cookbooks.
I have not made as much as I thought I would because I was sick for a couple days. But I have made, we got to go to see my new niece on Wednesday, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I made fresh milled flour chocolate chip cookies, and they were delicious.
Mm. So
Um,
oh, cool. You milled
yeah.
your own flour?
Yes. One of the things I picked up in Philly, or on our way to Philly, was a grain mill that I've been looking at. It's a very long story of why I wanted a grain mill that can be mostly summed up by the fact that um, Grandpa always grew wheat. Grandma still grows wheat. And I think it would be really fun to bake bread out of the flour that Grandma grows, or bake bread out of the wheat Grandma grows.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is one of my goals for 2026, is to be at the farm when wheat's coming off so that I can skim some wheat off the top and use it in baking next year. So I picked up a grain mill on our way to Philly. Members have access to that video of me unboxing it. Very excited in a hotel room in Philly. And I made cookies with it this week. And I've used a couple of the bread recipes in The Miller's Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And what else have I used? Oh, I've used a bunch of recipes in Zero Proof. I was talking about this in a live recently. I've used a bunch of like the drink syrup recipes in this book.
Cool.
Because they're very tasty in hot water and tea. And I've been enjoying them. As somebody who does not consume alcohol, there's a recipe in here for like a ginger syrup,
Mm-hmm.
and very much enjoying that in different lemon teas in this very, very cold winter.
Right now, instead of coffee, I'm having lemon ginger tea, by the way. I love it when I just something warm about it.
It is, and it's so tasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, so how was, I have not gone to a pen show yet. So
So
it's so surprising for me.
the video, Mom and my recap video of Philly, is going to come out on Monday. It was going to come out today, but the editing took longer than I thought it was going to. And then YouTube wouldn't process the video file. And so I have to figure that out today at some point. So hopefully it'll be out Monday. It was an adventure from the get-go because Toronto got hit with its worst snowstorm in a very long time, to the extent that by the time we were leaving, they had closed all the schools in the Greater Toronto area, including universities, and were shutting down public transit. And there was a stay-at-home order in effect.
Okay.
And we were like, are we really doing this? But we did it. And it was, I would say the first like several hours of the drive were really slow to the border because lots of people don't have snow tires and people don't know how to drive in that much snow. And to Mom and I, it's not a big deal. But for a lot of people, it is a big deal.
I mean, in Canada, you would expect people to have snow tires on their cars.
So it depends. Like downtown Toronto doesn't get all that much snow. I had 2 snow days my entire K through 12 school experience. I had one in elementary and I had one in grade 12. This year alone, they had 2 snow days, 8 days apart, because Toronto got 56 centimeters of snow in one snowfall and about the same in the other. Like Toronto broke a snowfall record for most snow they've ever had in one of these storms.
Wow.
And so it is an unusual amount of snow for downtown Toronto to get. Also, there's nowhere to put it. Like there's literally nowhere to put the snow. So most people who live outside of the city have snow tires. Most people who live in the downtown core don't have snow tires because they never need them.
Okay.
We got out of the city. We crossed over in Buffalo. And then we very quickly decided we were not sticking to the highways, and we drove through very pretty farm country. And got to our hotel in Philly very late that night because it had just been a long day and a long drive. And I would say the show on Friday, and from what I heard from everybody else, was quiet. It was There are
No.
very few shows that I can film on the show floor at. Being able Yeah.
Yeah, being the first show of the season in February where the weather is iffy and stuff,
Mhm.
I decided Wendy, was Wendy at the show?
She was.
Okay. Yeah, because she said she was going, and I contemplated going because of that, because you guys are going, but I said, I had some medical stuff that came up. I'm fine. But I had some things I had to deal with, and um, I said, you know what, I'm going to LA, which I'm super excited about. And so I forego going to Philly, but I still feel like I missed, I wanted to
Yeah,
go, but
I honestly, Claire, I don't know that you missed out on all that much. It was other than seeing people.
well, that's what I meant.
Like, it
I met
was,
some people.
um it is really unusual for me to be able to film during show hours on a show floor with vendors.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I filmed my video with Ian about the Evo at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes, Papa J will be there. I'm gonna see Rob. Rob's working on 2 pens for me right now.
Ooh, fun.
Mhm. Yeah,
I am
and
sad I will not be at LA.
LA is gonna be, amazing, and I was just going as a participant until, Leonardo decided to go, and he wants his team, so, well, I'm gonna be working for Leonardo. I'll be at the Leonardo table. Uh,
Excellent.
Yeah, which, I love working tables. I really do. And Clarissa does it in a way where she sets up times. So there's like Suzette and I will alter a little bit,
Mhm.
and we'll have some time where we can go and look at stuff and everything. So we have a schedule. And I love the fact that we have a schedule. So we're not there all the time. But what happens, she knows that if I'm done walking around, I'm going to be at the table helping.
Yeah.
So it's like, I sort of have a schedule, but, you know, yeah. So we're just, but I like that. So I'm excited. And, I'm going with Suzette and then Sue back. So we're doing our girls' weekend thing with matching PJs and the whole bit. So,
That'll be fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We have it's going to be fun and then just to hang with people. Um,
Yeah. And
you
really, that's what Philly was.
Mhm.
Because honestly, I don't I never know what my next show is gonna be. I never know when I'm next gonna be in the US. And
You're definitely
so
doing Chicago, right? You don't know.
I literally have no idea.
Okay.
Um, Pen shows, especially international ones, get really expensive really fast. And so if somebody wants to do what happened at Philly, which was sponsor 20 questions, suddenly that helps.
Mhm.
Heinz and Stationery Universe split sponsorship of 20 questions and have title sponsorship of the entire season.
Cool. That's
Um,
great.
and that helps quite a lot. But international shows get really expensive because it is the Canadian dollar is for every US dollar, it's $1.44 Canadian right now.
Wow.
And that is pricey. So it's just a balancing act. So right now I've got a room for Chicago, but will I be there? We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's funny because it was something I wanted to make sure I got my room, so I had to like book it out of the show thing because there was a glitch. But now I think they fixed the glitch, so I got to go back and redo my room, which I'm not. But I'm going to be working it for Tasha in Chicago. So I'm balancing. It's Baltimore and Chicago. I'll be with Tasha,
Okay.
and then L.A., D.C., and San Francisco. I'll be with Leonardo. I spread the love. I spread the love.
It was
Yeah,
nice to see Sujan at Philly. I hadn't clocked that Tasha was on the vendor list because there were other people that I was following much more closely who
yeah.
were on the vendor list, and then and I also like hadn't made it over to the corner of the room she was in. And
Mm.
what we did on, I think it was Saturday afternoon, spent a little bit of time hanging out at
She's
their booth talking, and it was lovely.
Yeah, we went when we last year we were in LA, we went to her home. And she is an avid ping pong player. She's got a whole setup. And so she comes, she said, "Oh, come on, we'll play a little ping pong." And she sort of takes it easy, just giving us the little lessons, getting in the groove, and then watch out because then she's slamming the crap out of the, like whatever.
Good
And
to
she's
know.
like, oh my God, yeah. So it was like really cool. So I did something. I went to. I had one niece visit me from Boston, and I have two nieces that work in Disney. So we took the train down.
I saw your Disney pictures.
It was fun. And then there's a store there in Disney Springs called Unique Low,
Mhm.
and it's a fun store. I took my design. They have a thing where you can print T-shirts, but they print right on the T-shirt from a printer, and then they heat set it. So anyway, I'm just like, now I can put my design on a T-shirt. It came out so cool, didn't it? I
That's
love it.
amazing.
I know. I was like, this is like so cool. I'm like such a child, But it was fun to be in Disney and be a kid and do stuff um, that I haven't done in a while. Like last time I haven't done Magic Kingdom in a very long time. Kind of avoided Magic Kingdom because of, with our daughter
Yeah.
and stuff like that. The last time I was in, yes, I do. I've done Epcot and other things, but Magic Kingdom itself. And
Mhm.
it was kind of really cool. We went on some rides that Alex used to love going on and stuff. So it was like, I had the best time. And man, there's one video that my niece caught where we were coming down this water ride and I seriously, my whole face was like, it's dripping. And I had the best time with the girls. We had a blast. I love, so that's another reason why I forego going to Philly because I went to Disney instead.
We used to have a great time at Disney because there's a giant tech conference in Orlando, normally mid-May, early June. My dad used to go every year, and my mom used to go down for part of it. And so we used to stay on Disney property, and mom used to commute from Disney property, and so she'd spend the day with us at the theme parks and then spend the evening at this conference. And so for a long time, I think starting like when my brother and I was probably 10 our first trip, and it was always so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Great time.
love it. I love going there. It's like you can be a kid. I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are. You get so excited. I just loved it. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, uh, what else? So now, of course, we got more stuff coming up, and I just booked my hotel room for the Dutch Pen Show too.
Ooh.
I know. So yes, I'm going. I'm going by myself, which I have no problem doing because I'm going to know people.
Yeah.
And I actually have friends that live in the Amsterdam area, so I'm going to see them for 2 nights, and then I'm going to do some stuff by myself, do a little touristy thing, and then I'll be at the show. So Yost is all excited that I said yes, I'm fine this year, and so I just kind of busy, and then you think about it, and then after that is the Orlando well, you got DC, San Francisco, Orlando.
Yeah.
And it's just boom, 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 boom. It's going to be a little bit hectic, but I kind of really love it. Yes,
Are you going to the Orlando Little Craft Fest, which is in?
I can't because that's the same time I'm going to Amsterdam.
Oh, I thought it was in March.
Oh,
have
wait a
no
minute. The
dates
Craft
on this
Fest,
stuff?
the Stationery Fest.
Yeah,
The Stationery Fest is it's in May, I thought.
I thought it was in. I might have my dates wrong. I
The
do
one
have my dates wrong. Yep, you're correct. It's
Chicago
in May.
Stationery Fest is coming up, so I'm going to Baltimore. I come home 3 days, and then I'm going to Chicago for the Stationery Fest.
Yeah.
Sue Beck and I wanted to go to the New York Stationery Fest, and we were online together, in line, and like waiting to get our VIP tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And come 9 o'clock, when they opened the thing that you could buy your tickets, they had some glitch or whatever, got put into a waiting room. Long story short, we did not get our tickets, and
So I have heard that it was a shit show to get tickets.
It is. I said, you know what?
Because we were at, I think, didn't tickets go live like the Friday morning of Philly or something?
No, 9 o'clock at night of Philly.
Not okay, because this was the talk of Philly, was what a shit show at times, was what a shit show the ticket system was. I hadn't tried. I'm gonna be honest. My policy with Stationery Fest was, the accessibility had been so bad the first time that I needed to see them pull it off successfully once before I was even going to consider it. Unless a brand wanted to bring me in to stand behind their booth, I wasn't even going to think about it, because it had, from all the clips I'd seen the first time, the accessibility had been so awful that
It was so bad.
interest.
It was so bad, but we heard that they were like stepping up their game and doing something better, but it was not good.
Yeah, I needed to see them pull it off successfully once.
Right. Wendy wants to know if it's worth buying the Mont Blanc Star Walker Polo Green fountain pen or the ink.
Ink. Isn't that the ink that looks like a highlighter ink?
It's a highlighter ink. I swatch it. I have it, and I'm not going to use it. I have it. The ink, no,
The ink.
not unless you want highlighter ink.
Does it glow under black light? Is my question.
If you give me a minute, we can find out.
I will give you a minute.
Light. I got black light, and I'll go get my swatch book.
Because that is always my question with highlighter inks, is do they glow? Because Pelikan's does. But some of them don't. And if they don't, I don't see the point in them. Does anyone else have ink questions? Because I have no shortage of ink, and neither does Claire. We all have a lot of ink. We all have too much ink. Though I have to say, I do like the new Ferris Wheel Press waterproof ink enough that I may end up with a bottle of it. Because it's very pretty and it's very sparkly. And it's waterproof. And it's a hard thing to find a waterproof sparkly ink. Coco's had one for a while, but it's been only available in cartridges. So if it's available in bottles, that's a new thing. Because Coco also has a highlighter pen, which I have.
Okay, so like I make sure I get the right color by brand book, because I have so many swatch cards now that I had to do 2 of these. Okay. Let's see. Mont Blanc. Star Walker Green. Let me get that. Alrighty. It was.
So I actually like it enough, David, that I'm debating the 85 ml bottle of it. It's really nice and it's really waterproof.
Okay, that's the Polo Green.
Ooh, yeah, I don't like it.
And no, it's not like, I don't know, maybe because it's too light in here. I have no idea. But I do have, that's what it looks like. Now, if you want, let me sit down now. Do you know that Mont Blanc has a highlighter?
I did, because I have bid on this before in an auction because I really want one.
Yes, so I have the highlighter. We have the highlighter. I have one. This is Peter's. Peter's like, I went out there and he's like, oh, show her this one. Yes. And so that's the highlighter. This is the ink. Okay. So, I mean, if you want this ink, I don't know if I'd use it. I have it because we have the pen, the fountain pen, but I don't even know if I'd put it in the fountain pen. So anyway, so there. Any other questions?
Well, we were talking while you were gone. We were talking about the new Ferris wheel press waterproof ink that's also sparkly and is actually waterproof.
Really? Oh yeah.
And show
I
how
heard
sparkly
something
it is.
about that. Have you tested the waterproofness of
I
it?
have. I did it in a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually shocked how waterproof it was on Tomoe River paper. It only had a tiny bit of like ghosting along the edges when I picked up the ink. So like you could tell that it had gotten wet,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still like 98% of the ink was still exactly where it belonged.
Right.
And on watercolor 100% con paper, it was 100% waterproof pretty much.
No,
I
it
actually
doesn't
like
blow, Wendy.
no.
Yeah, no. So anyway, but yeah, so it does. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's fine.
So it does actually work on your papers, the waterproof.
Yeah. It totally works. I was actually shocked at how waterproof it was, to the extent that I want to pick up the 85 ml bottle of it.
Did you see? I actually tuned in and I watched Yos's live the other morning on Tuesday morning, and he had Ferris wheel press on, and it was kind of really interesting watching and chatting and the whole. I chatted and stuff like that and asked a few questions, but it was kind of interesting. And of course, people were wanting to know if they're ever going to change their bottles because they can't get their pens in the bottle.
I didn't. I watched the Hemingway. Hemingway did a video with them.
Mm-hmm.
And the most interesting thing in Hemingway's was him talking about the fact that they are redoing how affiliates create content for them, which was the first time any of us heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Was in the discussion with Hemingway, and we've heard nothing else about it since then. So that'll be interesting to see what's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, nothing's changed. And honestly, they changed the system in late 2024 to pretty much be like you could create whatever you wanted with their product.
Mm-hmm.
And I've quite enjoyed that flexibility, and I think most of the people who have worked with them over the past year have, because you can create whatever you want. Like I recently got one of their pen purses, the leather ones, so that I could do, or they sent it to me so that I could do a video comparing it to the Gale and Leather Folio.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, yeah. Because
I think Suzette does got sent some. She's on their affiliate program and they send her stuff for content.
Because like, how many people are going to buy 2 $300 pen cases? Let's be honest. Most of us would rather put that money towards a pen. And so it was interesting to get to sit down and compare the two of them and see what I liked and disliked about both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what they do going forward with content, because according to the live stream with Hemingway, they're changing it. So we'll see what the new policy is going forward.
Right. How about now? Did you re-up with that? Well, Atlas hasn't done theirs yet, or
Atlas hasn't done it yet. So I will apply again. Currently I have an affiliate for Blick and for Endless and for I'm a terrible creator. I'm like, I can't remember. Blick, Endless, Jackson's Gold Spot and Charpak.
Okay. So keep you busy.
Yeah.
That would be great. That would keep you busy. What else? Let's talk about pens.
Let's talk about pens.
What do you have to show us today?
Well, so there are 2 pens that I've been using a bunch. And then there are a bunch of gel pens that I've been using a bunch. So where
Okay.
do you want to start?
Start with the gel.
So
Gel's good.
I had written about these for a Gold Spot article, which is when I remembered how much I love these pens. These are the Zebra Sarasa Vintage. And I've used these pens on and off for a couple of years, but I'd forgotten how much I love these pens until I was writing about my favorite gel pens for Gold Spot. And I was going through my entire gel pen collection and I picked these up and I was reminded that really the muted colors of these are my favorite gel pens. And so I've been using them. They're currently actually what I'm using in my bullet journal. I'm trying this thing this year where I'm only using one color of pen. And I have the navy one. And so I am just using the navy in my bullet journal. And so it's all monochrome. It's all very pretty. And I quite like it.
That's cool. I know that Sue is using one color in her journal. So we were talking about that just yesterday. And I think there's something interesting about doing that where it's all the same, where you add some other stuff to it, but it's all the same.
Yeah. I've never done it before. I tend to switch stuff up fairly often in my journals, but I am sort of enjoying. Normally I use fountain pens in my bullet journals for like all my writing. I'm really enjoying there just being a pen that stays with my journal. And so I'm always using the same pen. It's never a question of, oh, what pen am I going to use? Because I'm always using the same pen. And I think it looks pretty good because it's all the same color.
Right. I'm happy with my decision because I've gone back and forth and I know we've talked about journaling and Hobonichi and planners and whatever. And I like what I'm calling my brain dump.
Excellent.
So I am at least doing something and it makes me feel good. I mean, and it's actually I have it here. And I started it and it's, I'm using a Wonderland 222. It's stateless. Add pictures. I'm using different pens. So it's like even my little trip, I printed up my stuff on, from going to Disney and stuff. So it's really kind of cool. It's like now I got to I have to catch up again, and that's working for me right now.
I honestly think you're probably doing more than me because I haven't used this since January 22nd. I thought I'd last a little bit longer with the doodle planner. The reality, though, is as soon as we sort of hit the part of the year that it is really cold and really dark and I'm not getting as much sunlight, I have no interest. And that is not working out great for me, staying organized. So I think I might have to go back to the Planbury Weeks, which sits on my desk all the time normally. I have tried having this on my desk this week. The issue is I haven't been at my desk at all this week because I wasn't feeling well and I was doing other things. And so it has not had a real test of actually being used this week. I think, though, I will try it again next week. If it's still not working, I think I'm going back to the Planbury because I actually need a planner so that I know what's going on in my life.
I get that. I'm just reading now that Karen just ordered her first Franklin Christoph. Congratulations.
The funny thing is, don't have a Franklin Christoph. I have 3 nibs from them that I picked up at Philly. Because they make some really fun stock Yovo nibs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's
I
cool.
snagged 3 nibs from Philly.
Well, congratulations. We'll wait to hear how you love it when you get it in. She just
Yeah.
got it for her birthday. I think that's wonderful. And so gel pens are, I find uses for all different types of writing instruments,
All the time. And, like, the other planner thing that so people at Philly know this story. Yes, I did get a yes, I did get a SIG nib. I got a double broad SIG, which is not yet in a pen. I haven't figured out what it's going in yet. But Mom and I both got spare nibs that were tuned by Audrey and are lovely. And one of mine is already in a pen. I put it in a pen before we left Philly. That is how much I love it. So people at Philly know this because people asked. People went, "Oh, what color of Travelers is that?" And when I told people, people were shocked because I was not talking about it publicly because I was still hoping, Travelers would maybe respond to their second email to me and come to an appropriate resolution. This is my love and trip. This is the color a love and trip is supposed to be. So, my love and trip started cracking after 6 weeks.
Ooh, not good.
And what do you do when leather cracks? You put conditioner on it because it is a natural product and it needs oils. Well, if you put conditioner on your love and trip, the red dye comes off.
Red's the worst. Basically, red is the worst. Because we used to be in the leather business, and if Peter can chime in the comments, and talk about the red's the worst.
And I mean, I have pieces and pieces of paper towel that are just covered in red dye. And it's a high quality leather conditioner. It's what they use on tack at the barn. It's what I use on my very expensive leather riding boots. So what did I do? I sent pictures to Traveler. I sent an email to Travelers. Travelers responded and said, "We only offer a 30-day warranty on our products. There's nothing we can do. But can you send us pictures?" I sent pictures. So at this point, I have had the journal for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I have no other leather goods that I own that have cracked after 6 weeks of being in my collection. Like, nothing.
I can't believe that they only warranty their products for 30 days, especially in a community that's so big.
And so I send pictures. I've heard nothing back. It has been a month. So we have red leather dye at the house because we have a lot of leather products, and sometimes, like, you scuff a corner of something and you just need to, like, fix it up. So it was like a dark chocolate brown, and so I have since thrown some red leather dye over it. But what you can sort of see is that Mom bent this cover back yesterday to show the color difference. And the leather underneath under the dye has already cracked again. So this Traveler stuff will be moving into my new inky Travelers cover. So my 2026 is now going into this lovely purple from Inky because they have requested that I put this through the ringer after hearing at Philly what happened with the Travelers one. She wants me to use and abuse this.
I'm very surprised at Travelers on that Love and Trip where it's kind of boring. You'd think that they would emboss the Love and Trip and gold foil on it, but nothing. Not like some of their other ones that they did.
So it has the little Love and Trip on the back.
Yeah, don't cut it.
Yeah.
They don't
No,
cut.
what I was shocked at was how quickly it started to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, I have seconds from Galen that I'm buying knowing that they are damaged. Like, you are buying what you know is not top of the line product. And it is still far better than this. And this was not cheap.
Mm-mm.
Yes, I bought it on affiliate credit. But it was $120 Canadian.
It doesn't matter how you purchased it.
Exactly.
Your credit is from the hard work that you do. So that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Still the price of it. You had to use $120 Canadian credit to get it.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was horrified that their warranty is 30 days. And if you go onto their website, they offer no advice on leather care. In the FAQ section, there is nothing.
Wow. What's the name of that waterproof sparkle?
Oh,
The
the Ferris Wheel Press. The Twilight Symphony.
Did you show the swatch card of that? Because I went to go. Ooh. Okay.
The sparkle is hard to see on camera. It's like a blue-green.
Oh no, it's pretty.
Yeah. No, I was horrified. And then I dyed it red but like most people would not have red leather dye at home.
No.
The reality is I had 2 red leather dyes and did, not that you can tell anymore, I did 2 little Q-tip swatches by the Love and Trip logo of the 2 different dyes to try and figure out which one worked best. To try and bring a tiny bit of red back into this cover. But
I wonder how many other people are having trouble with their covers.
I don't know. And I honestly, I love the Midori inserts because I like MD paper. I do not think any leather products from Travelers will ever be in my future again because it is such a short warranty and I'd rather buy from brands that stand behind their product.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree with that.
So this will all be moving into this, which is stunning Italian leather and comes with a QR code that tells you exactly where the leather's from. So
now I don't know this brand.
So you probably know the little cannolis, have you seen it? So it's the same maker of the cannolis. This is a lens wipe one.
Mm-hmm.
For your glasses or your camera lenses, which I utterly adore.
Oh, that is so cute.
Well, and it's great because unlike like the microfiber cloths that just sort of spread the oil around, because this is a type, I believe it's like sheep leather or goat leather, it absorbs the oil. And so it's like the first thing that actually cleans my glasses, like cloth thing that cleans my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I've been loving it. And then the other thing I picked up were the cable ties, which I thought, I'm just going to use them like when I travel. And instead, I've been using them constantly because they're so practical. I'm about to throw one under my desk to help control the chaos of cables underneath my desk.
Can you put their link in the chat? That is good to know. I'm going to write that down. I need to check that out because
they're fabulous. And I absolutely adore their cable ties.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And I will Mom talked about yesterday in my haul video that she will be picking up some, and I will be picking up more
Were they at the
very
pet
soon.
show?
They were. So I met them. I've been following them on Instagram for a little while, and
Okay.
I met them for the first time at Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And they're based in Brooklyn. Their products are made in the States, in Brooklyn, out of Italian leather.
Okay.
And they're just, she's fabulous. She's lovely. And
Well, that's I'm gonna go check that out. Sometimes, yeah, because I don't know I haven't seen them, so yeah.
well, so the first show they were at was Boston, Commonwealth.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't go to Commonwealth.
Yeah. They were at Commonwealth, and then they were at Empire, and then they were at a couple pop-up events in Brooklyn for Christmas, and then they were at Philly. And they're going to be at Stationery Fest. I love them though. Like, they're one of my favorite sort of pen accessory shops right now.
Right.
Because the pen nib ink wipe is so practical. And I've been using the last sheet of it because it's got 3 for my glasses and my camera lenses. But I've been afraid that I was going to like wipe sparkly ink on my glasses. So I knew going into Philly, I was picking up a lens wipe. And then just before Philly, I guess 2 weeks before Philly was when the issue with my travelers happened. And so I figured I was going to look at other journal covers.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was while I was having a conversation with her that she offered me one of hers to put through the ringer and test out and do all that stuff. And I love them because also, if you are confident in washing leather products, the leather inserts for the nib wipes are washable. She's got instructions on how to clean them, or you can just buy new refills.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what other pen shows is she going to be at? Did you say?
Right now, she's just announced Stationery Fest, so I don't know what else she's going to be at.
Chicago or New
Osaka.
York? Oh yeah, I'm not going. And it's like the timing is terrible. There's, like if we could get tickets and we were going to go, then I'd be going to New York, and then from New York going to DC. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It was too chaotic last time. And the fact that getting a ticket and the VIP tickets were expensive.
They were
$175. When Sue got on finally in the queue, she was like number 300. When I kept refreshing, my queue was 1,000.
My gosh.
And I'm like, this is nuts. It's totally, totally nuts. I'm like, you know what? No, I could ask one of the brands that are going to be there. Do you need help? But I mean, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. There's no host hotel, so that's another thing that bothers me with going to some of the stationery fests. There's no host hotel where people can meet up afterwards. When I went to Chicago last year, a lot of people stayed at the Hampton Inn, which was perfect. We all kind of, how like you have when we go to the pen shows at night or whatever, people can get together.
Yeah.
New York, no. And it's super expensive. So if you don't live in New York, it's super expensive. So I'm okay that we didn't get our tickets.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even try.
Yeah.
I just didn't have an interest.
It was kind of a waste of our time. So anyway, I'm going to jump and we're going to talk about Fountain Pen Hospital is celebrating their 80th anniversary.
Yeah, and you picked up something.
I did. It's so funny that it seems funny that because Mont Blanc is coming out with their whole Romeo and Juliet pen line.
What do we think the inks are going to look like for that? Because
I have it.
Do you have it already? Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my pen to come in, but I have the ink. I just swatched it, and believe it or not, I put it in a pen already because it's really, really, really beautiful red. It's a beautiful red. And yeah, so let's see. Now I got to find where I put it in this book of mine, because under the M's for Mont Blanc. And it's funny because I also have, okay, I'm going to show you two Mont Blanc inks that just came out. This one is Mont Blanc Queen for the rock group Queen.
Yeah.
And this is like a tomato red.
It's very red.
It's a tomato red, and I did not like it in my Queen fountain pen, which I have right here. So I have the Queen. I did get the Queen fountain pen, and I actually ended up putting the Gustav Klimt ink in this one because it goes with the pen so much better. I just, love that. But the Romeo and Juliet is a beautiful red. So I prefer the Romeo and Juliet. It might be too hard. I don't know if it's hard to see, but I prefer this one over this one. This is more orangey.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's really kind of cool.
It's more like the Romeo and Juliet's more alizarin crimson.
Mm-hmm.
It's got more pink to it.
Yeah, and this one is kind of tomatoey, and it wasn't like my favorite. So anyway, Fountain Pen Hospital celebrating their 80th anniversary, and they came out with two pens. It's a set, 2-pen set.
Mm-hmm.
Their version of Romeo and Juliet. This one is there's Omas, made with Omas celluloid. This one is the red scarlet, and then this one is the Oro black for the Romeo. And okay, so I thought it'd be really, I was trying to figure out what ink I'm going to put in these pens. And I asked Alexa, I'm in my room, so this one over here is called something else, so she won't respond.
Mm-hmm.
What colors represent Romeo and Juliet, right? So they said for Romeo, it was red, and for Juliet, it's blue. Okay, well, that's fine. In my red scarlet, though, because it's really pretty, and it is a cartridge converter. And even the converter is really pretty. They did a great job. And this one's an extra fine flex. And they have engraved on it. You're not going to be able to see it because I don't have, but I think it's kind of hard to see. But it's engraved with the love, or Romeo, with the Romeo and Juliet, symbol on it, the lovers. And I got to show you, even the converter. He did it right. And it has, Fountain Pen Hospital 80th anniversary Romeo and Juliet. So in this one, I put the Mont Blanc color red because I kind of liked it going. And then in the black one, which is a medium, I put Cult Pen's Lust. Because Romeo lusted after Juliet. So someone said to me, "Oh, so you put the blue in the Romeo and the red in the Juliet," and they were making kind of fun of me. But anyway, why did that happen? Anyway, so they write beautiful. It's a steel nib, writes beautifully, unbelievable. And the price for the two pens, I think, were $550. I think they're sold out. Hopefully they'll make more if they have it. I don't know. But I was like, yes, I'm going to. And I really thought they were really cool. So I am going to do a video of some pens that I thought were, for Valentine's, for love, whatever. So I'm going to work this weekend on a currently inked Valentine's pens or something, the Romeo and Juliet. I have one by Marlin called the Amore, which I don't want to fill all my pens with red ink. And so actually I'm thinking of putting black in here. Why not?
Yeah.
and it's really pretty. And then I got a couple of others, pens that I got in. So, I'm going to do that. But I just, for the money, I mean, he did a really good job on these pens. I'm very, very happy with them. But if they do come up, or if he gets, I do recommend them for 2 pens for that amount of money for celluloid. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So I actually have my Omas inked as well. I thought I had re-inked it and cleaned it. And I went to write with it this morning. And it is a weird lime green color.
Okay.
So I think maybe I didn't get it fully clean of whatever was in it when I was handed it at Empire. But apparently I did not write down what I put into it. So this pen is going to be cleaned out again. And then I'm going to re-ink it again. And then hopefully I will have a pen that is actually inked with the ink color I want.
Now, is it a cartridge converter, piston, or?
It's piston. Which I like. I do find it doesn't have an ink window.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a
Very
little
pretty.
hard. It is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's diamond cast orange and black. acrylic.
Nice. What
And
color ink do you want to put in there?
So I literally have no idea what I had put in here. Based on how the ink writes, I think I put a Mont Blanc ink in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaning towards it having been Midnight Blue.
Okay.
But it might have been Cool Gray. And I think Cool Gray mixed with the weird green that was already in this pen is probably how I ended up with the color I ended up with. So this
But
entire
it's not a happy accident then.
No. It's like this color really doesn't go and I'm never going to write with this color type of ink.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wish this pen had an ink window because it would be a little bit easier to make sure this pen was fully clean because I did think I had this pen fully clean.
Yeah, it's okay. So with pistons, cleaning a piston pen, if you can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth a million times. So what I do end up doing is filling it with water and leaving it upside down in paper towel and let more drip out. And then like doing it again and doing it again. And then you just hope, not if there's a little residue, that's fine. But, and then, then empty it all out and still leave it draining on a paper towel. Upside down in a cup. The other day I cleaned out 15 pens. So I kept checking. Yes, on some pens I can take the piston out because you have the tool, but then I don't want to, I'm always afraid I'm going to screw that up too.
I never want to take things apart unless I have to.
I love writing with Pelicans because it's so easy to unscrew the nib.
Yeah.
That part's easy if it's, and then using a cartridge converter. But I have 4 pens that are cartridge converters.
Mm-hmm.
I have the syringes from Ian Schoen, and it really,
they're so nice.
Yeah. My vanishing points and my Sailor KOPs and stuff clean like a breeze. I don't have to worry. So I was like, oh, do I really want another piston filling pen? So
I think I have to really like the pen to want to deal with the more complicated filling system.
Right.
Like, I really like my Visconti Iris Garden.
Oh, that's like one of my favorites.
But I spent probably 6 months trying to decide on an ink for this pen, knowing I was probably never cleaning it out fully. and that the ink I was putting into it was going to be the ink for this pen.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like cleaning vac pens.
Yeah. I just inked, I haven't inked a Visconti for a while, and I just inked my Midnight in Florence.
Ooh.
Now, that's why I was like, okay, let me back up a little bit. We get pens in a lot, and sometimes it's like I already have so many ink that I have to clean out pens before I ink again, because it's just, it gets overwhelming. And I decided to ink the Midnight in Florence, and thank God I'm going to the LA Pen Show in 2 weeks, because there's something weird with the nib, and I have to have Kirk tune it a little bit. I mean, it writes beautifully on one angle, but on another angle, and I look at the back and I'm like, the feed's off a little bit, and I'm not touching it. So I think when you order pens in, you should, if maybe not ink it fully, but you should always just test them right away.
I always dip them right away,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not always going to ink stuff right away. So I picked up one of my orders that I picked up in Philly was a platinum music nib from Atlas that I've been after for a while. They're getting increasingly hard to get here, both in the US and in Canada. And when Atlas had it in stock, I picked it up. I am not going to ink that pen right now because I have too many pens inked. And too many pens in my to clean pile, because I just haven't wanted to clean pens. Once I clean pens, though, that pen will be inked.
Mm-hmm.
But that pen will probably get dipped today or tomorrow, just to make sure there's nothing weird going on with it.
I agree with dipping, but if you have flow issues,
Yeah,
you're not going to
that's
be able to tell that there's something wrong with the feed, not unless you ink it. And that is what I am dealing with right now, with a little bit of a flow issue. And it's like, I should have, but it's like the Midnight in Florence, I think, was something that was purchased a while back, and I just, because I had so many, I couldn't, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of platinum, the celluloid are $600 now.
I'm not surprised. Celluloid is getting increasingly expensive as it gets increasingly more rare.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It is. There really aren't that many people that still have stockpiles of celluloid. And
this is a question that I'm going to ask for people out there. You can, put it in the chat. What is on your wish list or watch list for 2026?
Mont Blanc Bohème. I still want one.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they can be a pain. I know that people love them or hate them. I love them. I still want one so badly. I saw one this past year at a pen show, but it wasn't a version I was in love with. And I really didn't love the price. It was way over what they'd been selling for online recently. It's about 3 times what it was listed for online. And so there was no way that I was picking it up, even if I could have afforded it, because of how much more it was than it was online. And so it's still one of those, like, I would absolutely adore this someday pens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been that way now for over 2 years.
Right. I am looking for, believe it or not, a Mont Blanc Egyptomania, but the one that has the scarab on it, the Douai. Which you can find that one. But that's the one that it's on my watch list. And I don't know, there's just something about the pen that I kind of like. But I'm not, and there was one other pen. It kind of escapes me right now, and I don't know why. I think I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night.
That's
But yeah, as far as the question that William, celluloid, but it's very hard to make and keep stable, very
Yeah.
flammable. They're really not allowed to make it anymore. Whatever
Yeah.
they have, but what they do make is another version of it.
Yeah.
So, which is not as highly flammable. I just got in this one here, Leonardo. It goes with a trilogy of, called the Iberia Glass, and this one's called Glass and Wine because it's got the celluloid on there on the thing. It's through Corsani in Italy. And this is like, he does it with Leonardo, and they have, I have 3 of them, and they only make 25.
Yeah.
So he knows, he's like, hey, Claire, I have your number if you want it. I have 6 out of 25. So, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and I would tell you, the camphor celluloid, it's like
you and I have talked about this. Like, people collect celluloid because we all are sort of drawn to things that set things on fire.
Yeah.
It has burned down multiple factories. It has to be cured for an extended period of time before it's even usable. Monte Grappa has burned down at least twice because there's a documentary on it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it is so dangerous. None of us should really have it in our personal collections because it does like to spontaneously combust.
I think if it's the older, like it once it's been, cured and out in the air, as long as we leave ours, like like even the Toyoko craft box, it's not fully closed.
Yeah.
Then we have others that are out in the air, so we don't have that issue. This one here, this is really cool because they call this Glass and Wine, and I just love this one's believe it or not, a number 8 steel nib.
Okay.
And it's broad, and it writes beautifully. And I don't know if it can be seen or not. It's engraved with grapes on it. It's really cool. And it writes beautifully. And of course, Leonardo has an ink called Red Wine, but it's a little dark for me. And I love his Red Passion. So that's what's in there. So anyway, but I just got that in. So I inked it right away. Because if I did have a flow issue, I'm going to LA and how I can have Silver take care of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got it in. I said, okay, I'm going to ink it and make sure it's fine. And which is perfectly fine because I've been writing with it.
Yeah. I own one celluloid pen, and it sits on my desk in a pen cup, sitting upright.
Yep.
It never goes in a pen case. It never goes, like, you can have celluloid stored in a way where it is less dangerous. It's never going to be 100% not dangerous.
Right.
But you can mitigate the risks by, avoiding its exposure to sunlight, not having it in contact with other celluloid pens, keeping it exposed to oxygen. You can do all these things to mitigate the risks of it spontaneously combusting. But it is always a risk.
Right. It just, it's Peter. The other day I was like, because this is there was a Chatterley exclusive called the Bengal Tiger. And of course I had the cap off and I'm writing with it. And Peter's like, I smell celluloid. It's like, because our desks are like this close together out there. But yeah, I said, yes, dear, I'm writing with the pain. It's just something I just love. But yeah, but I'm on there's only like nothing that I really looking for. So I'm hoping to behave in LA. Good morning.
There's the things that I want are unreasonably expensive. Like, There's nothing, I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing that's really come to the market other than my ever-growing collection of Colotinos, where I've added another one recently. I've now got a ballpoint. There's nothing that's come to the market in the past, like, 18 months in the low end price point of the industry that I've really gone, "I need that."
Mhm.
Everything that I'm really liking these days is probably above $500, if not above $1,000.
Yeah, I can remember in the days where we said we're never spending more than $100 for a pen.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I know. Oh, well. So now it's like I just got and I'm kind of like Pilot. I like vanishing points now for some reason. Before I was like adamant about it, but now I do like them. But not the decimals. Those are
So
too small.
so I would say there's one pen that is on the lower end of the price range that I am still after, and that is the US exclusive Pilot 74 in the lavender colorway.
Mm-hmm.
It sold out so quickly, it hasn't come back in stock, and it wasn't available in Canada, and so I was not able to get my hands on it, and I would still like to get my hands on one at some point. Um, but they're also not popping up on the secondhand market, so I'm hoping they're gonna do another release of them in the States. Normally, with US exclusive ones, they tend to stick around for a year or 2, and so I was sort of expecting them to come back because
I'm
of how
surprised.
quickly they sold out, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen them come back in stock at Atlas or anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the, I wish they'd do better vanishing points for the US market, you know?
I love so Atlas still has them listed on the website.
Hmm.
They're these, like, marble vanishing points they did a couple years ago.
Yep.
I love those. If Pilot could bring back stuff like that, that would be
Yeah.
so pretty.
I just got this one in. It was a Japanese exclusive. This is called the apricot. You know,
Ooh,
I love the feel of it. It's matte, and yeah, it really is. It really is lovely. And I'm trying. Oh, and I think that's what I did. I put in a Mont Blanc ink in here, the Carlo Collodi ink. Carlo Collodi was the writer of Pinocchio.
yeah.
And that ink color matches this pen perfectly. Because I didn't like it came with a bottle of the Iroshizuku Toro, and
Yep.
that's too light. This is too light. But yeah, so I'm using that now in my journal. I'm not
Yep.
one.
There's not
Yeah.
a lot available in Canada. So that is the big I last year at about this time, there was lots of hype in the Canadian world that US that brands were spinning off from their US distributors. And I said that that was all well and good, but nobody had the capital to bring in everyone's product lines. And I was sort of scoffed at for that. And lo and behold, no one had the capital to bring in full product lines. And so what are we seeing? We are seeing big holes in the product market in Canada
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that US distributors are no longer shipping here and Canadian distributors are importing products, but nobody has the money to carry full product lines. There is no rickshaw distributor in Canada currently. Um, your best bet right now is to order from Atlas, who lets you pay your duties ahead of time. But then you're stuck with their limited color selection, but Atlas does let you pay your duties ahead of time. It does have big downsides for everybody spinning off their Canadian distribution because there is no Waterman distributor in Canada. There is no Parker distributor in Canada. Like, you cannot get the most basic of basic fountain pen inks here currently on the shelves. I have to buy those in the States. There are massive holes in the product market up here right now
Yeah.
in what are really common product lines, and that is no fault to pen shops. But the distributors do not have the money and the space that people like luxury brands and everyone had to hold inventory and to distribute it to shops. They do not have the buying power to do that. We are a much smaller market for fountain pens. And so, in turn, stuff has disappeared.
Mm.
And that's frustrating. And I am lucky that when I went to Philly, I had a list of what I couldn't get here and picked up as much of it as I could. But there were also things that we could not find at Philly that we knew we couldn't get here.
Diamine is like hen's tooth. Yeah, I don't know if vendors here in the States will ship like what the shipping is. Like Penrealm has rickshaw and Drumgles has rickshaw, but I don't know what the policy is shipping.
It depends on the brand. So Diamine's weird because Diamine used to be everywhere. And now it's almost nowhere. Except sometimes you'll find a whole bunch of it. I actually have had the best luck with Diamine in the past couple of years on Amazon, importing it directly from the UK, which I know is taboo in the pen world, but a lot of the times the colors I was after weren't available in my country. No, so here's the thing: no one's shipping ink in the winter, at all. But you might be able to get other products shipped in the winter. Like Ferris Wheel Press will still ship affiliate products in the winter, but won't ship me an order if I buy it myself from the website. So until March. So make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. I just shipped some inks to a friend up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Some samples that she wanted. And I think I sent like 6 or 8. I can't remember. And it's so funny because the samples, except for one, froze and one didn't freeze, because then in looking at properties, some ink companies put in an additive so the ink won't freeze.
Yeah. So one of the things I've talked about a little bit over the past year is that I think ink companies, in lots of other parts of the arts world, companies need to disclose their ingredient list on products. In the watercolor world, even though it's not a food product, most watercolors have a full ingredients list on their products. And I think ink companies need to disclose their ingredients because there is almost no disclosure on inks. There's almost no information on inks. And fountain pens are really expensive, and we should know what we're putting in our pens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some like some inks I won't put in a pen.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not using that. No. And
no, there should be disclosures of some sort on, because like there's no other product
Sailor has inks that tell you dip pen only.
Yep.
So at least you got that. That they recommend you do not put in a fountain pen. And it's because they're probably heavy shimmered and whatever, and it's dip pen only.
Yeah.
So, and down our drain, right? It's like,
yeah.
But yeah, so I like your idea of listing stuff, because then you would know. And I think I don't remember what, like when you look at like when you went to look up, I think Noodlers has additive in it so it doesn't freeze, or if but some I do like Sailor inks too.
Yeah, I love Sailor inks, but like in other art supplies, they have to disclose their ingredients.
But not inks.
But not inks. But in other in ink industries, like my calligraphy inks from other non-fountain pen brands tell me what's in them.
Mm-hmm.
Why have we made the exception for fountain pen inks to not give us any information? Why have we decided that that's okay? To not know anything about the inks and what we're putting in pens.
I got a Mont Blanc ink in. I bought it from Shaq MD. He was
Yeah.
selling some of his scented inks or whatever, and the Mont Blanc scented. One's fine. The other one, I'm like, oh my God, I can't use it. Cannot.
Mhm.
I won't put it in a pen. It stinks of like shellfish. It's hot. It's terrible. I said to Peter, I said, I'm just tossing it. I'm seriously going to just toss it. I can't, people, and I was at the Mont Blanc store and I said, this ink stinks. And they said, oh, just add a little vanilla to it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like,
No.
no, it's like I have inks that have gone moldy in my office from a brand that after I posted about it on Instagram, I got a whole bunch of messages from people going, yeah, half of my inks from this brand did the same thing. But also, every single bottle I've ever had of that color has done that. And I'm like, so why have we decided that that's okay?
Right. It's not okay.
Why have we given them a pass for this? And why are we not forcing brands to give us some sort of information? Because at the end of the day, I've written about this, I think for Gold Spot, which is becoming a very common line in my life. Watercolor, liquid watercolor, and fountain pen ink are pretty much the same thing. The only difference is we are putting in supposedly some sort of ingredient to prohibit mold growth into our fountain pen inks. Supposedly.
Wasn't it like Private Reserve? Didn't they have huge issues with that? Like a long time ago, I think there was something with the company or
I think
whatever.
it was before they were owned by Yaffa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was pre-Yaffa.
Yes, it was pre-Yaffa. I think the owner had passed. The family was trying to keep it up, and then they had some issues with.
I don't know. It was before I was involved with Private Reserve because I've only been involved with them post Yaffa.
Yeah, I mean that's it can happen. Safety standards are not shared across all countries. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it should be the same everywhere.
I would say most art supplies there's a European set of safety standards. And most fountain pen inks are made, good portion of them are made in Europe. It's a very interesting rabbit hole if you want to dive down that on your free time. I did one weekend.
I'm not. Someone asked if Cult pens would ship to Canada. I wouldn't know that. Just have to do a web search, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a creature of habit because I order from stores that I have a relationship with. So if something goes awry in customs, I have somebody to talk to. And I order from people who I know their customer service department picks up the phone. And not saying that Cult Pens doesn't, I just don't have a relationship with them to know what they are.
I mean, I know I order from them and they come to the States.
Yeah.
And same thing with Pure Pens.
I think they ship to Canada. And coming from the UK into Canada, I believe you're only paying duties. You're only paying whatever your provincial and federal tax is. So in Ontario, it's 13%. Because we have, I believe, still a free trade agreement. We're still a Commonwealth country. So it's probably cheaper to order from Cult Pens than from the States. It really just depends on what shipping is. I know for a long time it was cheaper for me to order from the UK than it was for me to order from the States.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never ordered from Cult Pens.
Yeah. No, we've gotten some inks and stuff in there from like Cult Pens exclusives. Like the ink that I put in the Romeo is there, but Diamine makes the inks for Cult Pens.
Yes. I have one of the Cult Pens exclusive inks from Diamine. I have Sand Between Your Toes. Oh, because I just logged on to Cult Pens, I saw the new what's it called? Lamies. Does anyone else think they look like they're from Wicked?
Oh, the new Lamies?
New Lamies. I saw them in the email from Goldswat and I went, it's Wicked. You can call them Pine and Flamingo Lamy, but it's Wicked.
Yeah. Let me go and take a look. Let's see. I'm going to go take a look myself now. But now I just try to put my...
Yes, I am very spoiled in Ontario because we live in Toronto, and so I have access to Toronto Pen Shop, Lewins, Gortzmans, Wonder Pens, Paper Plus Cloth, Madoku, and Desserts, who all sell fountain pen products and fountain pens. Oh, and what's their name? They're in the Path. House of Fine Writing. Like, I am absolutely spoiled, but I love getting to pick stuff up. That being said, selection is slim. I was in Wonder Pens a couple days ago, or I guess a couple weeks ago. I was in Wonder Pens just before Philly, and their ink wall felt empty.
Pre-order now. Yes, it does.
It's Wicked.
Yeah, it does look like Wicked. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, and Blesket. Mom reminded me that I forgot Blesket. They don't have a partnership with Wicked. They've called them Pine and Flamingo.
Okay.
Like, it's Wicked. I've never wished I liked Lamy pens more than right now because I hate them. They're so uncomfortable in my hand. But I'm looking at them going, I want them so badly as a theater kid.
Let's see. Oh, shipping. Do you ship to my country? Let's see. Let's look at the page.
Oh, see, you stayed on task. I got really distracted. That's why I opened Cult Pens.
Okay. Standard shipping for under $140 is $20. If you spend over 280 Canadian dollars, you get free standard shipping.
Oh, wow.
So they do ship to Canada.
Wow.
But they have, like, if you spend under 140, it's $20 for standard. If you want express shipping, it's $70. Forget that. However long it takes from the slow boat to, whatever. But yeah, they do have, same thing with shipments to United States. They have free shipping on orders over $160. But yes, so free shipping to the United States on all orders above $160.
It would literally only be a more obvious collection if they screen printed designs on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, there is nothing that could make it more obvious. I saw the email from Goldspot and I went, it's Wicked. You can't tell me otherwise. It's Wicked. Yes, you can call them Pine and Flamingo, but it's Wicked.
Wicked. Annie likes the new Estabrook Besties.
I think it's a pen that I'd have to pick out in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot that are I've seen some that are more purple and more white. And I think I'd want one that leaned more purple.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy, we did that. A group of us got together and we ordered inks from so-and-so. And that's what we did. We did a huge group buy, to save on shipping. She did that with a bunch of people from Cult. They did a group buy from Cult Pens. And that's always something kind of cool to do if you have a few people that want to purchase a few things and someone is in charge of, collecting the funds and everything. And then you have to ship it out to them. But yeah, that works too sometimes. We just did that, like a whole bunch of, like 5 of us got together and we wanted inks from so-and-so.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it wasn't that bad even with the duties, so anyway.
Honestly, I just like add it to my like amount that I'm paying for an item. It's so standard. What I have been enjoying the fact that like now I can, depending on who I'm ordering from, they give me the option to prepay. That never used to be an option.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that people now offer the option to prepay duties ahead of time because it costs, at least here, if they have to come to the front door, they charge a service fee on top
Mm-hmm.
of everything else. And so I'm paying, it might be duties of like $5 and you're paying a $20 service fee on top of that.
Yeah, that's
And so
ridiculous. I mean,
I like being able to pay them ahead of time now.
What, Wendy, what you mean the accessories for besties? I think the accessories look like they come off the props table of Mean Girls. Yeah. It's cute. They're cute. They're just cute. They're not something that for me, but they are cute. There's a market for things for everybody. They are cute. But I find with any Estabrook pen that I have to see it because the resins vary. I did that with even with the Coffee Monster Co. I looked at a few of them to pick which one I wanted because of the section and stuff like that. And
Yeah. And I think it would be the same way, like, especially because I've seen the purple one have a lot of white in it and not very much white in it, and I definitely want one that didn't have much white in it.
yeah.
I'd want it to lean more purple than white.
Mm-hmm. The purple is cute. I did see the purple. I mean, I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
The pink one kind of
Yeah, I haven't seen it in person either.
Yeah, the pink one reminds me of the one that they did a while ago. It was pink and it was a smaller pen. But yes, Wendy, your 11-year-old would love the bestie. But anyway, but I'm looking at the time now. It's like noon. We've been chatting.
Yeah. And the Olympics opening ceremonies in like an hour and a half.
Ah, yes. Does anybody have any questions for us? Put it in the chat. We hope to do this again next month.
Yeah, my March is less busy.
Yeah. And
more.
I'm in March I got Baltimore and Chicago, and they're back to back. So I have openings. So
all right, we'll schedule around.
Yeah, so that's fine. But I'd love to do this. If you have any ideas or thoughts or something, you can always reach out to us on Instagram. Leave us a message. I would love to if you have any questions about anything, and we can address it next month.
Yeah.
That would be like so cool. And I want to like thank everybody for logging in and chatting with us today. It was a lot of fun. We talk about everything here.
We do.
So I wanted to just say, hey, and have a great rest of the month.
Yes, and we will see you sometime in March.
Yep, definitely for sure.
All right. Bye.
Bye.